The 1999 Ansett Australia NRL Grand Final, proudly brought to you by Tui's New. Hard Yakka. It took Hard Yakka to bring you this NRL Grand Final. Telstra, making life easier. Bundaberg Rum, the genuine article. And Ansett Australia, welcoming you to the business end of the season.
He's through, he's away! Oh, a gasser! Oh, what a take! Heavens above, he scored! They just keep coming, the juggernaut! Yeah, and all, here's a try! Oh, what a step! What a step! Stampeding! That is superb! Don't look round, son! Here you go again, boy! Great tackle, absolutely beautiful. Oh, the youth and the expertise. He'll crawl, he makes it. He has made it to Rugby League's dress circle.
It's the dawning of the new era of Rugby League. For the first time at Stadium Australia, the Ansett Australia Grand Final. The Melbourne Storm versus the St George Illawarra Dragons.
Melbourne's into the grand final, a Rugby League miracle. Mundine! Ho, 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 ho!
Today we invite you to join a grand final record crowd to witness history in the making. The youngest franchise taking on the first joint venture club for the game's greatest prize. Live and uninterrupted from kick-off to trophy time. Plus...
this competitive nature.
Well, I don't really care. I have other things on my mind. Then when you tell me to just get out, well, this isn't just your house. Well, I thought I saw it, I've told you. I guess you didn't listen, baby. Now that I'm looking for your time, just to see if I'm on your mind. I think we're really over now. I saw your girlfriend, you and her seem to be fine. Now that we're through, I realize I want you. I try to get you back, but you don't need me, baby. What you thinking of, baby? No, baby. Have a look, look at me, baby. What you thinking of, baby? No, baby. I took a change now, baby. I know that I've done some things wrong. I never left 'cause I wasn't strong. And now that we're over, I don't think that I could even go on. Well, I've changed my naughty ways. Well, I'm telling you, I changed. Just come back and stop the crowd. Work it out with me. Well, now that we're through, I realize I want you. I try to get you back, but you don't need me, baby. What you thinking now, baby? No, baby. Have a look, look at me, baby. What you thinking now, baby? No, baby. I took a change now, baby. I changed my mind. I really changed everything that I had. I'm even walking towards you now, and you won't look at me, and I'm getting really used up. Yeah, I'm getting really mad about it. I changed everything for you, and only for you. when we were together, I didn't care a bit. But now that we're over, I'm trying hard to make you see that I exist. Well, that's a fact. I need you, I want you back. Just change your mind and we'll be fine. Work it out with me. Now that we're through, I realize I want you more. I try to get you back, but you don't need me, baby. What you thinking now, baby? No, baby. Look at me, baby. What you thinking now, baby? No, baby. I took the chain now, baby. What you thinking now, baby? Look at me, baby.
Would you please thank Vanessa Amorosi? Rugby league has always bred legends, men who have become as immortal as the game itself. And today, we say goodbye to a new generation of heroes. David Barnhill was one of the game's most industrious second rowers. We salute David Barnhill. Andrew G has been one of the Broncos' most reliable performers throughout the 90s. We pay tribute to Andrew G. Alfie, one of the greatest halfbacks ever, leading the Broncos to 4 grand final victories and captaining the side for 9 years. We honour Alan Langer. Parramatta's Dean Pay was the type of forward who was seen at his best when the stakes were high. Dean Pay. And here with us today, Brandy Alexander was a stylish and skillful halfback able to wow fans with his extraordinary abilities. Penrith's favourite son, Greg Alexander. Mark Carroll's explosive running style and punishing defence were hallmarks of his game. Please welcome Mark Spud Carroll. Sean Garlick was an inspirational team leader and a courageous hooker for South Sydney and Sydney City. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Garlick. This man was one of the greatest front rowers of all time. The Chief, Paul Harrigan. And who can forget Langer's grand final victories with Canterbury in the 80s? Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Langmack. Andrew Leeds, the former Wallaby and co-captain for West, is one of the quietest achievers. The goal-kicking magician, Andrew Leeds. Mitch Newton, a hard-working front rower, was one of the most reliable forwards in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch Newton. The Pearl will be remembered as one of the greatest modern-day centres, Broncos superstar Steve Reynolds. Mark Soden began his career as a live-wire halfback and adapted to a new role at hooker with considerable distinction. Please welcome Mark Soden. Steve Walters was described as the best hooker in the modern game and played in 3 premiership-winning sides for the Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Walters. And to the 4 men whose legacy will not be completed until the 1999 Grand Final is complete. They call him Lazo, the brick with eyes. But behind the nickname is one of the game's toughest warriors. He played in the front row for 13 seasons, appearing in 5 grand finals. Thank you, Glenn Lazarus. Mark Coyne was one of the classiest centres of the 90s and a proud performer and captain of the Dragons over 11 seasons. Thank you, Mark Coyne. Brad Mackay has been at the heart and soul for St George and Illawarra. We salute Brad Mackay. And finally, Rod Wishart scored over 1,000 points for Illawarra and a massive 138 points at test level. St George Illawarra winger Rod Wishart. These men have made an enormous contribution to our game. Gone, but not forgotten. They'll live long in our memories, reminding us of a time when our own legends became kings.
In every heart, there is a drum that beats steady and strong. It does not know defeat. I feel it crying
on a mountain top where one man cannot climb, the rest are lifting up. We'll understand when we're closer, yeah, to a higher destiny.
And when the long night has been fought and won, we'll stand in the sun. We'll raise our hand, and we'll touch the sky. Together we will dance in robes of gold, and we will leave the world remembering when we were kings. When we were kings. When we were kings.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Price and Genevieve Davis.